Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. So in this series I've been looking at how the outdoors and nature has such a positive impact on our mental health. And today in this video I speak with Kelly. So Kelly, who's a mum of 3 and a midwife, would say that for most of her life she really struggled with that whole sense of belonging. She found it difficult to blend into groups, which left her feeling isolated and lonely. And this had a detrimental effect on her mental health, to the point that she was admitted to hospital after taking an overdose. But Kelly explained to me how climbing Mount Erical was a turning point for her. So let's have a listen to Kelly's story.
So like the whole outdoors, it was part of me always. I was brought up in the country. And then not that long after I got out of hospital and I was mentally unwell, my cousin approached me and said that we were going to climb Mount Erical for a charity event in memory of my cousin Philip, he was the same age as me, and he died very young, and he was a huge part of my life. So it was one of those situations that I couldn't say no to. So I was like, yeah, I'll turn up. I have no idea how I'm going to get up a mountain, but yeah, I'll turn up. So we turned up. There was a group of us of maybe about 20, all family and friends of Philip, and we were doing it in memory of him. And we climbed Mount Erical, and I think I almost died. I was unfit. I was painfully underweight. I was mentally unstable. I smoked. I drank too much. And here I was crawling my way up Mount Erical, cursing the lots, going, what? Why is this enjoyable? But I got to the top of Mount Erical, and it was something, and I don't know, something ignited in me that I went, this is where I belong. And it was the accomplishment of reaching a summit when everything was against me. It was the sense of belonging. That group of people was there together as a group, all with the same goal, in memory of the same person. So the laughter and the banter that we had, and we all sat at the top as a community, a tribe, and that moment was when I felt, this is it. This is the feeling that I've been trying to chase my whole life. This feeling like I belong in something. And I don't think Claire, my cousin, actually realised the extent of the impact that climb had on my life at that time. She knows now. But after that, I wanted to chase that feeling. And I started to hike. I was never a hiker. I wouldn't have classed myself as a hiker. I'd done a few mountains around locally, but nothing. And I bought a pair of cheap hiking boots, and I hiked wherever I could. And I went solo. Most of the time I hiked on my own. Didn't really know what I was doing. I've started to learn that the mountains was a friend, and they were welcoming me every time I went out. So I talked to them. I talked to the mountains like I would talk to a therapist or a friend. I had conversations in the mountains with people I will never have conversations with. And I cried a lot on the mountains. I just sat there and I sobbed from the pit of my stomach. And every time I left, I felt lighter, and I felt like, the mountains went, okay, we'll hold on to this. You keep going. And every time I done a summit or I went out on a hike, I felt lighter and I felt freedom. I felt a peace within me that I've never had anywhere else. And I've been to therapists, and I've been to doctors, and I've tried everything. But that was the first time that I felt a sense of freedom, that I was completely me in a non-judgmental way. I had nobody telling me what to do. I had nothing guiding me. It was just me and open spaces, breathing in fresh air. It's simple. It's so simple. So yeah, I healed. I smiled. I was getting up in the morning looking forward to my next hike. I was sharing my experiences with my friends, my family. And then one time I was out in the mountains, I was sitting and I was having my moment and I was meditating, and my thoughts went to other women. And I thought, if I have felt like this my whole life, and I have felt alone and felt isolated, and this has helped, where are these other women that feel the same? And I wanted to find them. I wanted to reach out and scream and say, here, this is what helps. Do you know? You do not have to be on your own. You do not have to suffer. You do not have to struggle. You don't even have to talk to me. All you have to do is come out and feel Mother Nature at its best. And so that's where Soul Girls Adventure started to be formed and be created. About 2 years ago was when that vision started to come into my mind. It's just over a year and a half now, when I took out my first hike of woman. And again, it was a bit like I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea how to reach out to these people. But I thought I could try at least. And so I used social media. I put it out, just a simple hike. And I had a few girls came along. And when they came, I started to share a bit about me. They didn't have to tell me anything about themselves. I just shared a little bit about my journey. Not even in depth, but just how the fresh air and the mountains helped. And they loved it. And I was going, wow, I've actually made a difference to somebody. I've made them smile and I've introduced them to something incredible. And then they told their friends and their friends, and it started to grow and it started to develop. And the more it developed, the more comfortable I felt then in sharing my story, because I knew what I had was powerful, and I knew what I had gone through and where I was. And a lot of people tell me that I'm an inspiration, and I don't see this. It's not. I'm very appreciative of the words, and I'm very appreciative and grateful that people feel that way. But I'm only sharing something that I think that's going to help other people. It's not to inspire, but it's just to give people hope that it doesn't have to be like this forever. There's help and there's support out there. And all the women that started to come along, they started to open up and they started to share their stories, and Soul Girls Adventure became my inspiration. I wasn't theirs. Without them, it wasn't going to happen. And they trusted me, and they believed in the vision and the goal and the dream. And so yeah, we take out women now hiking, and we have fun with it now, and it's great. Even now, it still feels a bit surreal what's happening, because when I started Soul Girls Adventure, my goal was, if I could get 3 or 4 girls, I just wanted to make a difference to a couple of people. I wanted to meet friends that I could go, do you want to go on a hike? That was what my original plan and goal was. And now they're coming from all across the country to come hiking with us. So I suppose it's a bit of me sharing my journey and being relatable and giving them hope. But also the mountains have a lot to answer for. They're beautiful, and I take them to some spectacular places, and they get the feeling that I had when I was on Mount Errigal that first time. That feeling of accomplishment, of reaching a summit with a group of people that they belong. And that's what I wanted to create. I felt for years I never belonged anywhere. And so I've created my own tribe now that we all are part of, and all these women are part of, no matter where they are in the country, no matter what struggles that they're going through, that when they come out with us, they are now part of something. And that is a huge part of somebody's identity. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing. They're trying to find their tribe or their circle of people. So yeah, we're attracting a lot of women, which is unbelievable. And I have met some of the most incredible people through social media. Even within Soul Girls Adventure, 3 of the girls that I've brought on as guides that are there to support me. One of the girls, Catherine, I met through Instagram. Never met the girl before. Got talking to her for a long time, and then she came out in a few of my hikes and we just clicked. So there is a huge positive side of social media, and then you have the dark side, and the side that, you know, people only put up snippets of their life. You know, that good day and that beautiful view, and it's very easy to compare, and I've done it. Do you know, I've sat here at home with a cup of tea crying and to my bun going, my life, look at them, they're all having a great day and I'm stuck here. So yeah, we've all done it, but it's learning to sort of cut that, you know, boundary. It's keeping your friend connection. Human connection is what we miss the most. So many people now are sitting on phones and talking over Messenger and all these sorts of things, that a lot of depression, anxiety comes from loss of human connection, and social media plays a huge part in that. That comparison and shutting down people's ability to hold a conversation in real life. So to go out into nature and leave your phone at home, or switching it off or putting it on silent, even if it's only for half an hour, and reconnecting and grounding yourself out in nature can have a huge impact on somebody's health. Because, like, especially in a pandemic as well, it's so scary for people reading all this information, and nobody knows what to do and what's right. And so yeah, it's information overload sometimes. So you need to disconnect and switch off and yeah, get outside. I feel so privileged and so grateful, because I know some people never find their people or their tribe or their sense of belonging, and they go through life with always that feeling of, oh, I don't really fit in. So I feel a huge amount of gratitude that I have found it. But I suppose it's maybe telling people that if you can't find it, make it. If you don't feel like you fit into certain boxes or certain groups of people, then figure out what you want and create your own group or your own tribe of people. And surrounding yourself with like-minded people has got a huge, it's incredible powerful for you as a person. You know, for years I was around people that never encouraged me, didn't really motivate me, wasn't very like positive in my life. Again, no fault of anybody's, that's just, it wasn't my group of people. And now I've surrounded myself with people women that are empowering each other and cheering each other on and helping each other and not comparing and not running each other down. It's, you know, it's high-fiving and you go girl and we've got this, we're a team. So that alone has empowered me. So when these girls come into that environment of, you know, a lot of girls come on their own and they're terrified of coming because it's scary to go anywhere on your own. And they're welcomed with open arms and they're loved, and they're, by the end they've made friends. So yeah, it's that part of belonging to something, and not everybody gets it and not everybody finds it. So to be able to have created it for people it's brilliant.